Hi Turkey, I'm Jelena Lemot and I'm ISAR professional astrologer and global director for France. And I have very great pleasure to talk to you about the Saturn in Aquarius. So initially, I would like to say something basically about Saturn. This is the social planet, builder of human civilization as Jupiter, and the master of incarnation. He always has a lot of very important messages and lessons, and it's always best to listen to what he says. Besides, he always brings an energy of challenge, of task, and always towards maturity. He rules the time, the limits, and incarnation, too. He is known since ancient time as a chronocrator. He represents the cycle of integrations, structure, the process of aging, of taking the responsibility, practicing the discipline, endurance, and experiencing the efforts. He is the planet of crystallization, the realities, and the truth. But he can bring obstacles, suffering, and fears too if you don't listen to his messages of reality, of accepting, of discipline, and persistence. This year 2020 in numerology is the number 4, which means the cross, the incarnation, which are in analogy with Saturn. And astrologically, Saturn dominates the year because it is the dispositor of the great triple conjunction between Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. Generally, and as we know, it takes about 29.5 years to go around the zodiac cycle for Saturn. And for the last 2.5 years, he was in Capricorn from December 21st, 2017 to March 22nd this year. And he was on its territory, and he will continue for the next 2.5 years in Aquarius until March 8th, 2023. So he's traveling his territory for about 5 years and more or less 3 months. But we should understand the difference between the position in Capricorn, in his signs, and it's not the same Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn in Capricorn represents responsibility for others and outside of me. Control, fears, panic, pessimism too, discipline, rigidity, realism, efforts, ambitions, structure, stability, integrity, tenacity, visible power, order, obligations. But Saturn in Aquarius, firstly, it's responsibility for myself and my freedom. It's differentiation from others, from everything around us. It represents coldness, distance from the system, family, everyone and everything in according to find the self. He represents in Aquarius the individuation and authenticity, such social intelligence, human science, system in the service to the humanity. On a global level, we could say that Saturn prepares now, checks, clears, tests the ground for his great conjunction at the end of this year with Jupiter. And especially with his retrograde movement from May 12th to September 30, and back to the last degrees of Capricorn from July 1st to December 17, 2020, this year. Look, symbolically what that means that he prepare the atmosphere to assurance and stabilize the new construction, more human and progressive, without the heavy past of Capricorn. But we must not forget that Saturn is testing us right now. And the end of the tunnel I see as something positive, even if it's difficult now. Now, Saturn in Aquarius might proclaim a leveling of bureaucratic structure that may be upset and shaken, as we see today. and especially if they are dehumanized and very rigid, which comes from the previous sign Capricorn, the non-integrated energies in this sign. And the next 2.5 years are not very promising for those who prefer to leave the responsibility to others. For someone, it will be the revolution of Saturn, first, second, or third, and very important for the construction or reconstruction of any individual and very personal system. For all the rest, it will be the call towards the journey for individuation outside the system of control of Capricorn. And in my opinion, we have come to the age of the abyss, and this is the excellent time, excellent moment for accepting our fragility in times of uncertainty. Only after that, we as a society, we can deeply transformed, we will be able to deeply transform and ready for a new, more human period, asserted by the first great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn at 0 degrees Aquarius. Also, we have one very strong message with this coronavirus or COVID-19, which connected 3 billion people at the planet Earth all over us in analogy with seventh chakra, coronal, the heart of our consciousness, who makes the connection with everything and everyone, the universe and wholeness. And the Saturn rules over this chakra. And finally, which is the most important integration and construction with Saturn in Aquarius, the more important message is that finally I accept the responsibility to live in freedom in my place in this world and to exchange and share with it. Thank you, Turkey. Kisses from France. Cheers.